to the view. My ass must have grown 50 inches wide because I can't sit on it today. Or it's because I'm in this damn dress. That's probably what it is. Yeah, don't applaud that. Don't applaud that. It's cold in a dress. I can't keep my legs open because I'm going to catch a cold in places I didn't know I could catch a cold. You know?
She's back.
Speaking of catching a cold, a big chapter in television history ends tonight when David Letterman, whose studio is at 4 below zero, I'm just going to say this, says goodbye to the world, really. And a bunch of us at the table have had a pretty good time visiting Dave over the years. Here's a couple of them. We look pretty good. Take a look.
I was going to the Palladium, Funk Master Flex Night, you know that night?
Oh, yeah. Funk Master Flex Night.
Yeah,
yes.
It's cool.
Hard to get a ticket for Funk Master Flex Night.
He's made some mistakes.
Yeah, now I feel like a jerk for bringing the whole thing up.
No, it's cool. You know,
I thought I had something there for a minute, you know?
You always have it with me, Dave.
Oh, bless you.
It's only happened twice that a vice president, an active vice president, has shot someone in the history of the United States.
This was extraordinary, you know, because it was sort of unexpected.
No, this had been planned. This was on the docket.
Well,
all right, Sunday Cheney's going to shoot a guy.
And you know, of course, for years, you know, Barbara's been on because they share their heart issues. So Joy's been, everybody's been on his show, and so
every president.
Wonderful. Everybody has been on.
I've never been
kind
on
of
the
wonderful.
show.
You haven't been on?
Never. I was on Jay Leno. No, I was on Jay Leno. And,
Yeah. What was that? Yeah, you were mostly in L.A. So
I was on
you'll
cable
forget.
access once. Shout out to my people there. Yeah.
This is not a bad thing. What you know, it's in terms of television history. What do you remember about Dave?
Me? I remember him always staring at my breast, which was a running gag.
You know what? In his defense, I look at your boobs because you look awesome.
That was 20 years ago, but...
They still look good.
Oh, thank you. But you know, he had me on several times, I think 6 or 8 times, and he was always very generous. And I think the main thing that I remember him is when my dad passed. He was the only one outside of my representatives that sent me flowers.
Yeah.
And people don't know his kindness like that. And he was really sweet. I'm going to miss you, Dave. I'm going to miss you.
Yeah.
You know what? I was just on. I was on the night of the blizzard, so I don't think anyone actually saw me on because there was a blizzard and we were watching the snowplows. But he was a harsh critic of Bush and Cheney, but I've never laughed so hard in my life.
Yeah.
I mean, he to me embodies the idea of a host. When you sit in his chair, you are his guest. And I knew he disliked everyone I'd ever worked for. He'd made a ton of jokes about them and about me, but he was so kind and gracious and generous to me when I sat there. And I think it's old school to be that kind to people. I'm nervous sometimes when I go do shows because I know a lot of people don't agree with my politics, but he was an old-fashioned, sweet, kind, generous host.
Yeah.
As a comedian, I got to say that he certainly influenced me. I mean, just growing up, you had basically Carson, you know, when I was like very young, and then Leno and Letterman, and that was it. And I mean, as someone who wanted to get into that space and still wants to, it's inspiring. And now you have all these new guys, and they're all very funny, but Letterman is still the last man standing of that old school group.
Yeah.
It's great.
Because he really didn't just read the cards, and he didn't, you know, stick to the script. And so you always had to be on your toes as well.
Yeah, you had to be as smart. Listen, I've known him 150,000 years, and you know, it's an honor. It's been an honor and a pleasure to come and play with you in your cold-ass studio. We love you. From The View, and all the people who have come through this show, everybody who's sat on the stage, to you from us, we love you. That's all we're saying. And apparently a lot of people love him. Because I guess Bill Murray was on last night, and he seemed to have a good time saying goodbye to Letterman. Last night he kept, you know, he was in a cake. He was in a cake. And And then after that, I guess he kept the party going when he dropped by MSNBC afterwards. And I guess he was having a good time, or was he faking it? No one can tell. Take a look.
Is that Bill Murray over there? Yeah, that's Bill Murray. We'll be back.
I just did the Letterman show, then went to dinner, had oysters, rosé wine, red wine, and duck, and some kind
red
of
wine.
green grass fed hanger steak, and then rushed here to do your show just because Jim said that you wanted him to come on the show. Would you mind coming? So I said, you know.
Everything.
Like, I like Bill Murray. I love drunk Bill Murray. I'm like, when are we all going to hang? He's like a lot of fun.
I love the fact that he was just what he wanted to say, however many drinks, or if he was faking or not, but he kept that skit going, and I think that is absolutely the smartest thing in the world to do. I'd watch him.
Especially if you're not somebody who wants to answer a lot of questions. Give him a reason not to ask them. I'm not buying Bill Murray drunk. Just sorry, no.
I just
not
think if
at
you're
all.
drunk, you don't remember that the beef was grass-fed. You know?
Yeah, there's a lot of things.
You know, right?
You know, I listen. Right on the nose, baby. You're a much better actor than people realize. I'm just telling you. People forget how good he is.
And you were right about Dennis Quaid.
I have a funny feeling this may be one of those things where he just was like, I don't want to be over here.
Yeah.
Oh, I know what to do. So wait. I am to do this. This week's cover story in New York Magazine. Just saying, that's how that works. But here's something serious. The cover story of this week's New York Magazine focuses on a private school, local private school, that's teaching third graders a lesson about racism. We love that. But they're segregating the students by race. Now, some parents think this is kind of not a good idea because it introduces the concept that kids are not even aware of, and particularly in this school, where one of the reasons parents send their kids to this school is because they don't have these issues. So, what do you think? Is this the way to do it?
I think there's a lot of different things that I like about it and I don't like about it. The one thing that I do like about it is true. You're more comfortable talking about your own race when you're with your own race. You're not politically correct the whole entire time. And I don't think it's for the whole entire semester. It's for a couple days out of the week, not even a whole day of class. And then you go back and you're able to talk a little bit more freely and know how to speak about somebody else's culture. We've had people in
about an 8-year-old. I mean, I've watched on YouTube the video of you with Elmo. We are obsessed with race, but I don't think kids see race. And learning differences, whether it's a kid in the class that's disabled or kids don't see themselves in their groups of their race. So why would you want to teach them that? The whole beauty of raising a kid in New York City is they're colorblind. And they don't see, they have disabled kids that got the color of race.
I think that they see race and they see the color of race. What they don't see is the hate behind it. And that hate is taught. And I think that separating the kids is telling them the world thinks that the colored kids are inferior. And let's discuss that. Why are you going to put that into a child's mind?
I don't think they're trying to teach that, though. Honestly,
I'm saying,
but I don't think they're trying to teach that.
I respect your opinion, and my opinion is, I think that for a child, why am I separated? Why?
I agree with you.
You know, if this is the adult
by the way. What if it's a biracial kid? And are they splitting their time between the white group and the black group, or where? How do they deal with that? There are a lot of weird things about this.
There's a wonderful song from South Pacific called "You Have to Be Taught to Hate."
That's right.
Little kids see color. They see color, and they like, how come you're yellow? How come you're brown?
Right.
That's what you would do no matter what. As you said, it's what follows it. And I think that unless you're going to, the only time to bring this up is when they ask you a question. Why am I like this? Why am I like that? Because the minute you try to explain to a 7 or 8-year-old, they're with you that much. And then they want to, can I go outside, please? You know, we're going to go, but there's a clip.
Can I show you with Elmo? See, this is the lesson that these kids should get right here.
Elmo thinks Whoopi's skin is a very pretty brown.
Oh, well, thank you, Elmo. Hey, you know what?
Huh?
I like your fur, too.
Really?
Yeah. It's a great color. Red.
Yeah.
And it's nice and bright and soft, too. It's nice and furry.
Each other to laugh.
I think it's good that they're starting some kind of conversation, though, at all. Well, that young.
You know, this will keep coming up because it's one of those stories that's going to follow us like bad gas. We'll be right back with more hot topics.
Why do madmen still make more money messing around?
Isn't this Fleet Week? Isn't Fleet Week starting this week? When there's a man behind me. And I thought, oh, it must be Fleet Week, because the guys are here. Welcome, welcome to The View, y'all. So, a new U.S. workplace study found that men who fake putting in long hours at the office are still getting promoted like we didn't notice. Even though they're not actually working and they're getting promoted over women who really are doing the work. Do you think it's true? Do you think that's just one of those things? Do you care?
True. Yeah. There's a great book on this topic by Katty Kay and Claire Shipman, who work in the media, where I think this happens as well, happens everywhere. And it says that men will go in and ask for a promotion that they don't deserve, haven't earned, and aren't qualified for, while their female counterparts who are qualified will sit in their office and think like, oh, I'm not ready yet. And I think that, you know, is the lesson that women should act more like men, or is the lesson that men should get real? You know, I don't know. But it's you know, I don't know. It's true.
Maybe it's both. Yeah. Maybe it's both. Maybe they should get real, and maybe we do need to step up for what we deserve.
Yeah. But I've had plenty of office jobs that I really don't want to talk about. But no, I've worked with guys who are super fake, super phony, the loudest guys in the meetings. I'll tell you right now, if you're in a meeting and there's someone louder than everyone else, that person is doing the least amount of work. And they're like, it's like a peacock, like they're flashing their feathers, like, look at me, I'm working hard, and then they go home the earliest, and they get promoted. It's failing up.
I don't know
Every
why
job
this is
I've had.
surprise. I don't know. I think it's everybody. I think women do it. I think anybody. People who think they can get away with stuff will try to get away with it. Male, female, duck, cow, doesn't matter, just they will try.
But here's what the men do, Carvey, with the things they do. So they arrange meetings with clients who are local so they don't have to travel. They cover for each other so they can all have unofficial flex hours.
That's smart.
They sweet talk their way into the client's good graces by doing minimal work, and they appear to be available at all times. Oh, my husband does this by taking calls at all hours and emailing at all hours.
Okay, but I have a manager who's a man, and he works his tushy off all the time. There are some men that actually work.
Of course.
You know?
How about the gentleman behind us?
That actually work.
You know?
But I think the point is that in general, women, and I see this in politics, women are good girls. They don't say they're doing something they don't do.
Grow the hell up, women. You know? If we haven't figured out by now that the squeaky wheel that's actually working gets stuff done, then that's on us. Get your behind in gear, God bless you. How about this? Is it me or am I having gas attacks? Are you guys good with that now? Because there's a new investigation by the D.C. nonprofit Environmental Working Group that claims that 8% of sunscreen products on the market do not offer any sun protection. They say that some can contain worrisome ingredients. I don't know what that means, but I don't know anybody who should be in the sun without some kind of sunscreen. Black people used to be told, oh, you don't need anything. It was a lie. We need sunscreen. We need it. Do you use it? Do you go in the sun?
Yes, I use it because I have melasma. And that's because I have so much melanin in my skin, it's the discoloration. You can't see it here because my makeup artist, Karen, is so great. But yeah, so I always have to be careful about going out in the sun.
You hear Karen back there?
I hear Karen.
What about you, baby?
I've never worn sunscreen. and I used to go tanning.
Oh my God.
And I don't like the way it smells. I don't like the way it feels. I don't see a difference. And my grandmother stays out of the sun after a certain age. Yes, I put a big hat on.
Oh, no, not after
cover up my
skin. I'm going to bring you some stuff that has no scent.
I don't wear it either.
It will save you.
I know. Listen, I grew bangs so that I didn't have to put sunscreen on my forehead. I was like, it's better. I swear.
And I get vitamin D from the sun.
Right.
I feel like my skin doesn't get leathery.
You're not going to get leathery because you have enough elasticity in your skin.
What about me?
You
won't either.
You know what? If you take care of your skin, you remember that dope piece from your fingers to your toes, you got one pedal for Nivea? That's true. You only get one skin. Because when you mess it up, it's done. There's an amazing photograph a lady did of herself on
Instagram?
Instagram. I know we have to go. I know. Where you can see what happens to you if you don't do it. And this will be her skin forever. Okay? She has to put makeup on. Don't fool around with this. This will kill you. And they're going to kill me if I don't go. So we're going, and we'll be right back.
They tore up the floor and took home the mirror ball. Rumor and Val show off their winning moves right after this.
The winners and new champions of Dancing with the Stars are Rumor and Val.
Finale of ABC's Dancing with the Stars, but Rumor and Val snagged the mirror ball last night.
Yes.
Here to dance rumba to the song Perhaps, Perhaps, Perhaps. Give it up for Rumor Willis and Val Shumkovsky.
You won't admit you love me, and so how am I ever to know? You always tell me, perhaps, perhaps, perhaps. If you can't make your mind up, we'll never get started. And I don't wanna wind up being parted, broken hearted. So if you really love me, say yes. But if you don't, dear, confess. And please don't tell me, perhaps, 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 perhaps.
Congratulations. 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 Wow. I'm so happy.
My God. How many seasons have you been on the show?
This was my 8th season.
You're like the Susan Lucci of dancers, honey. Every year we've been waiting, praying, hoping, praying, and you won. What is it like? Everybody swarmed you. I mean, everybody wanted you to win. They were so pleased.
That was amazing. That was the best part. The win it was great. Obviously, I want to win, but to see how happy everybody was to see us win, that meant everything to us.
Yes. And baby.
How are you different from when starting the competition?
I feel like I'm a completely different person. Thank you. I was so, I had so much fear and so much insecurity about putting myself out there and being open with who I was, because that's just how I've grown up, being so exposed. But I found so much confidence in being able to actually go out and be myself. And the amazing response that I got from people being so supportive and so inspired was just so incredible. And I think it's really what drove me, and that's who this is for, truly.
How did it feel to see your parents in the audience every time, and your dad crying, and your mom not really wanting you to be on the show, right?
It really wasn't about not wanting me to do the show. I think it became more out of protection, because when you do a show like this, you are completely exposed. You know,
and you've been exposed all your life. I mean,
exactly.
you know, I've known her since she was this big. I've carried this baby, and yeah, she pooped on me. And it was fine. It was fine. I forgave her. One of the great things about seeing this is that you were no longer somebody's daughter. You were Rumor Willis. You were your own person. So here's my question to you, because it's thrilling to watch. Is this something you wanted? Do you want to dance? Because you should be dancing. Okay, I'm just going to say it. Y'all need to hire her, okay? Okay, you need to hire her because she has all the makings, but this team, you can't beat this team. Hire this girl.
And you guys are going on tour, right?
Yeah, but I'm actually doing a show with Val called Sway on June 5th and 6th.
Yes,
Yeah.
Hammerstein Ballroom here in New York, if you're in town.
Yes, honey, yes!
Well, yeah, we're going on Dancing with the Stars tour as well. I think we have 60 shows. She's not going to do all 60. I'm very excited, but she's going to join us for a couple of shows. And, you know, the reality is that she's an incredible singer, an incredible actress. I don't think people ever knew that she has those talents. She has a single out. The freestyle that we danced to is a song that she recorded.
Yes.
Wow. She plays violin.
Beautiful. It's fantastic.
You guys are fabulous.
Talent show.
Thanks to Rumor Willis and Val Shimkowski. We'll be right back with Jeff Foxworthy.
Jeff Foxworthy, the Fabulous, is the largest selling comedy recording artist in history. A best-selling author and backed by popular demand, he's asking the question, are you smarter than a fifth grader? Take a look.
How many planets in our solar system have a circumference larger than Earth? How many planets in our solar system have a circumference larger than Earth? All right, Lauren has locked in her answer. I have an aunt that comes close. If you had guessed, what would you have said?
I probably would have been on 4.
The correct answer is 4. If you had said that, I would have given you $100,000.
Oh. Yeah. Well, fortunately for us, we don't have that same issue, but we do get to welcome the fabulous Jeff Foxworthy.
Get a hug, everybody. What a good day.
So, honey, Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader is coming back after like a 4-year hiatus. What happened? Did they find out that we got even dumber than they thought we were 4 years ago?
At everything I've ever done on TV, people would stop me in the grocery store or in the Home Depot and go, they need to bring fifth grader back. And you kind of smile, but you're like, that doesn't happen. Once it's gone, it's gone. And Fox called me at the end of last year and said, we probably shouldn't have taken this off. If we brought it back, would you want to host it? And I'm like, yeah, that's my baby. So.
Yeah. It's one of those shows you cannot stop watching because you're obsessed with the answer. Am I dumber than a fifth grader? And for me, the answer was often yes. But I want to know if for you, I mean, did you ever, did you know the answers?
No, I'm not Alex Trebek. And people think you're smarter, you know, because you're the host. I'm like, I got the answers. We had a lady, she had like a second grade grammar question. It was something about an antonym. And she said, I remember there were homonyms and synonyms and antonyms. She said, I can't remember the difference in them. Can you use it in a sentence? And I was like, my Aunt Nim came over for Christmas dinner. I had no idea.
I think you are hilarious, and so does my sister Carmen. But I just want to go throw out a little tidbit. You've been married for 30 years this year.
This year, 30 years. Same woman, yeah.
And you have two college grads?
One daughter's out of college, but the other daughter is about to be a junior in college.
And you're feeling like an empty nester?
Well, yeah, on the nature shows, when the little eagle flaps his wings and flies away, he doesn't come back 3 weeks later with 2 bags of dirty laundry and cornbread. we're not so much empty nesters. We're like a college student truck stop. They come in, gas up the car, get something to eat, take a shower, we're back gone now. So.
I heard that technology has a negative attention or connection to your children.
Well, here's the thing, because the new version of 5th grade is much more technical, like the kids have profile pages, because it's kind of in light of what's going on in the world. And I tell my daughters all the time, because they think you can Google anything.
Right.
And I said, you know, you can Google a lot of things, but there's some things you only learn through living life. Right. Like here's one of those things. Women always have more questions than men have answers. I'll give you a great example. A couple weeks ago, I get a text. The text says, please pray for Tom. He was in a bad wreck. I walk in the kitchen. My wife's there. I said, hey, I just got a text. Said, please pray for Tom. He was in a bad wreck. My wife said, where was he? I said, I don't know. I just got a text that said, please pray for Tom. He was in a bad wreck.
We want you to ask
she's like, was Carol in the car with him? I said, I don't know. I just got a text that said, please pray for Tommy. What hospital did they take him to? I don't know. I just got a text that said, please pray for Tommy.
This is one of those things that we want you to want to ask more questions.
I know, and we don't.
I know.
You know, we had friends having struggles, and she said, when you play golf with him, find out what's going on. And so on the tee box, I said, hey, how are things at home? And he went, And so I'm like, he doesn't want to talk about it. And when I got home...
We want you to want to know more.
We're not that curious.
Yeah. No. Jeff, I want to say years before Honey Boo Boo and Duck Dynasty.
Honey Boo Boo.
Honey Boo Boo of Faith. Anyways, you were you came up with your redneck jokes.
Yes.
Which you're really famous for.
Tour, right? I mean, not just jokes. It was a movie.
I've been doing the page-a-day calendars for 25 years. Well, I mean, when I first started in comedy, I'm obviously from Georgia, and I would come work in New York, catch a rising star, and I would have people here that would go, hey, I don't want to hurt your feelings, right? But you got to take some voice lessons and lose that stupid accent you got. And I'm like, really? Because where I come from, you have the stupid accent. But they always kid me because I wore boots and jeans and I drove a truck. And they're like, oh, Foxworthy, you're nothing but a redneck from Georgia. But as I was going around the country, I'm like, hey, this ain't just limited to Georgia. And so I'm playing in Detroit. And I'm playing at this club. And they were kidding me about being a redneck. Well, the club was attached to a bowling alley that had valet parking. No. And I'm like, if you don't think you have rednecks, look out for when people are valet parking at the bowling alley. So,
speaking of the tour, because you know that tour is great, and I always watch your specials. And you're with Larry the Cable Guy, right? And Ron Wright, hilarious, and Bill
Engvall.
Yes. Well, now you two, you and Larry have a XM Sirius radio channel. Tell us.
Launching this weekend, Memorial Day. It's called Larry and Jeff and Larry's Comedy Roundup, and it's all things comedy, but it's also like I talked to Whoopi backstage. I'm like, because there's a lot of actors and there's a lot of musicians. There's very few people that make comedy kind of their life's work. It's a weird bird, and so I want to interview comics and talk to them.
I'm coming.
Yeah, she's doing it. Yeah, she's one of the great ones.
Listen, it's never enough time with Foxworthy. It's just never enough time. But the brand new season of Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader kicks off Tuesday night. Check your local listings, because you know you're not. So you know you need to be watching this. And we'll be right back with Modern Family's Eric Stone Street.
ABC's hit sitcom Modern Family airs tonight, and Cam...
You did it so the easy sit down later?
Yeah, went from the outside in.
That was nice.
I did it like my silverware.
That's right. That's right. So tonight's season finale of Modern Family, what's it about?
Well, you saw me in braces there. Wow, I sound really loud right now. You saw me in braces there. I'm struggling. I had apparently Cam had crooked teeth. I wasn't aware of that until season 6. But so I got some adult braces, and I can't quite get away from the S words.
I heard that you received some really funny presents from your co-star Jesse Tyler Ferguson.
Well, I've given some funny, some given some funny presents. I I like to talk about things with Jesse that he makes me want to stop talking about, whether it's grilling or my meat at home or sex toys. So one day...
You just slip that in. Meat, sex, toys.
That's the connection of the two.
Yeah.
So I got it.
I was telling him about this great new product I'd heard about. It was all just a ruse. And then knowing that I had sent him one of these in the mail. But a week later, I was like, so did you ever get anything? He's like, no. And I'm like, seriously, you never really got anything? He's like, no, because I had Jesse Tyler Ferguson real big on the box and everything like that. But the crazy thing is, he's like, Eric, what did you send me? Because sometimes Jim Parsons, who's his neighbor, gets my packages. And I'm like, yes! So he made me make a video to send to Jim being like, I'm the one that sent that sex toy to
Because
Jesse.
he asked me to.
Yeah, no. And so then I had my, sorry to sound Hollywood, assistant go grab a couple more of them, and he puts them up on the counter, and she's like, wow, these really must be popular. They sell as soon as I put them out. So now Jesse's got 3 of them. I'm not going to say what they are.
That's way too many. I mean, that's just too many.
No, it's never too many. It's never too many. Just saying.
You guys don't have any fun at all.
We have a blast with each other. We're all, I mean, it's hard to believe we've been doing this now for 6 years, and we're going into our 7th season.
I love when I know you go to the White House Correspondents' Dinner every year. And you said you'd go no matter who the president is.
I wouldn't have a problem. It's an honor to be invited to that as far as I'm concerned. It's such a political and entertainment mashup. You never know who you're going to run into.
And who you're going to sit next to. It's like Colin Powell next to,
it's crazy. I'll always go no matter what.
But you're launching a campaign of your own, right? Called Ready, Raise, Rise.
Yeah,
What's that about?
I'm working with a campaign called Ready, Raise, Rise, and it's to bring awareness to a very new, exciting cancer research called immuno-oncology. And you can learn a ton about it if you go to the View website. Just click on the viewwebsite.com. I'm assuming there's a .com.
Yeah, we got one. Yeah.
I know a lot about it, the internet. And you can learn about Ready, Raise, Rise and what immuno-oncology is, but I'm not a scientist, but...
How'd you get involved with it?
Well, because cancer, I'm not any different than anybody else sitting in this audience. You know, cancer has had its way with my family and friends' family, and I knew when I, got recognizable that people would ask me to lend my, my name and my face to things, and cancer research was something that I definitely wanted to be a part of.
Nice. Very nice.
The new HBO movie, Confirmation, which is, I'm dying to see this, the Confirmation, the story of Clarence Thomas and Anita Hill.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Clarence?
Anita. I'm doing Anita. It's going to be a stretch. You know what? I'm an actor, Whoopi. And you have proven how versatile you are, and I am going to prove how versatile I am.
Well, Eric, you are versatile because you're a big star on Instagram.
Yes, I love
and you
Instagram.
post a lot of very funny photos. Can we take a look at some of them?
George, or something like that. And I said, well, since you posted it, I have to post it too. So.
That's all that happened, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it went no further than that.
Yeah. You also love blurring out people in these Instagram posts.
Well, I like to be the star of my Instagram, so...
You have a really funny picture of you at sitting down with some people. So,
God, that's hilarious.
Is that Michelle Obama? Do you put everybody?
That's President Barack Obama, who I cropped out. That's my friend Stacy, who is not important. There's Julie Bowen and Jesse Tyler Ferguson, and my glasses that look white, but they're not.
And then, of course, there's this one.
This is me and my mom having fun in a pool, I think.
There should
Yep, there's she's in the background. It's like, I love it. Instagram is hilarious. People really love to feature themselves.
Look at that one. I think you should post this one next.
Thank you. Yeah, that's as best I've ever looked. You were in that picture.
They look familiar. I want to keep talking to him. So our thanks to Eric Stone Street. This season finale of Modern Family airs tonight at 9 p.m. right here on ABC, and we will be right back.
Hope you all had a good time. Take a little time to enjoy.